Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is BMT coming at you again. I'm talking with you guys, not just on. I'm talking with you guys, and I wanted to sit down with y'all. I know it's been a while since I've been live and active, but I had to get back in the booth. I had to get back in the chair. It's been a hot minute, um, and here we are. This is a conversation that needs to be had, that must be had, and it should never be overlooked. Because we see the pretentious. Um, this is a very hardcore hitting one, more impactful. I'm not really waiting for people to get in the chat because I want to get this. I want to be a one and done and get it out the way. That's type of hot. That's the kind of guy I am. If you catch it on the rehash, thank you. But we need to talk about this. Thank you, Patriots. Thank you, likewise. Thank you for everyone who's coming on through. But I want to have this conversation. Also, thank you for Negro Shade Radio, the podcast. That's a little bit more unfiltered. I will be doing a double take on Negro Shade Radio. You can find the link in the bottom. But I wanted to talk about this one because this one is a little bit more cutthroat. This one actually is more so um, painful to have to admit and talk about because it's a real thing. That's why oh man, I got the wrong title under there. Let me go change that. I'm so sorry. Um I wanted to talk about this one of what happened with Cam Newton. What happened with Cam Newton and the young man. What the heck? That's not my title. Hang on, let me uh um I wanted to talk about that. It's if you've been under a rock, don't worry. I plan on covering it. I plan on talking about it. But I wanted to talk about Cam Newton and why it hurt. I know a lot of the black boys were laughing when he was saying that. I know some people in media were, like, wow, Cam, that was so wrong. How could you say that to him? But Cam Newton, NFL superstar quarterback, said something that rippled throughout um, black society. That should have rippled through the American household, throughout the home. That I know that boy, that young boy, should have hung his head down in shame. He said it out loud. Cam Newton said, "Where is your father?" And all and in black society, they felt that. They felt that. This is not something you going to just say, well, the white man. No. This is something. When he said, "Where's your daddy?" and the other black boys were laughing, they knew that hurt. Say what you got to say about me. I see my kids, but where's your daddy? When the last time you seen your daddy? That hurt him. You worrying about you gonna be a free agent. Cam Newton's grown. Cam Newton is worth $75 million. Cam Newton sees his kids. He was there when his kids were born, and he's there for his kids now. That was an embarrassment to what is the dynamic of the black home right now. That wasn't no joke. And I know some people like, well, Cam should have handled that differently. How does a black father or a black successful man handle that differently? Because here you have it, a young man still trying to figure out and don't know nothing about life is trying to tell a man who is living his best life, who is out there in the world, has the media's voice and ear, literally just now told America something that we all know is true. Where is your daddy? And the other black boys, like, that wasn't no joke. Y'all felt some type of way when Donald Trump called y'all sons of bastards. But deep down inside, you knew that was true. We know that the black home is in shambles right now, and y'all can try to pretend like it's not. But Cam Newton just told y'all right there in front of the world, and everybody's like sitting there, oh, well, you know, Cam, you should have handled that differently. How do you handle that differently? How do you handle that differently? I agree with Educated Aries. We said on Shout Out to the Four Quarter Talk with Big Duke and Kiera, when literally, when if Aries had been a coach there, or likewise, or any of us men had been a coach there, we would have jacked that boy up and pulled him off to the side. Are you crazy? Do you know how hard it is to get men to want to be in a young man's life? I mean, we laugh at this and joke about it, say, those ain't my kids. But see, let's look at the dynamic of what's going on right now. But it's all fun and games when he deals with authority that literally say, put your hands behind your back. License and registration. Sit down in the classroom. Respect men and women in the society. When these young men get gunned down, all of a sudden, we want to hear the good praise and accolades of, hey, like, where's the daddy? X, Y, and Z. But see, these things mount up and build into bigger things where people get hurt. One day, this young man will be in a home of his own. And you see, this just showed that just showed you right there. When I hear, and I mean, like I said, shout out to Cam Newton for having such grace and poise to say, but I'm rich. Say whatever you got to say about me, but I'm rich. Cam was trying to let him know the dynamic. And you see, that hurt that young man. I could tell that hurt that young boy. That did. I ain't gonna call that hurt him. And y'all be like, well, these women, what? How does a woman deal with a man, a young boy that size fighting her? Well, these women raise that type of boy. You know what hurt him? You know what hurt him more? When Cam, another man, told him, well, I got my life together. How about you? And see, that was more so cutting deep in that young man's psyche. And Cam wasn't wrong for what he did. Because when you meet a higher opposing force and they check you about the dominant society, that at the end of the day, they're going to say the same thing. And let's be real about it. That's what they say. It's no secret. You know, we know about the disparaging reality of what's going on in the home, in society. It's not getting any better, man. Shout out to Kelly Ray for having that great talk with her and her son when they had the interview. What's going on, David? And right now, you have it where the media is attacking Cam Newton. Oh, you should have said this. You should have been more sensitive. Bro, that was the most sensitivity talk that young man could have got. Sometimes tough love is probably the only love that man will understand. And you see, this is what I'm saying, that listen, sometimes that tough love is probably the only love that young boy will ever understand. Because he thinks in his mind that literally the world owed him some type of rebuttal. He thought that was cool, saying that to a successful man in his own right, a Heisman award winning man, trying to embarrass him. And he was letting him know, listen, son, I don't have to be here. I don't have to be here. I'm not your daddy. See, that hurts when a man who's not your father says, I don't have to do this. I'm not your daddy. Your dad should be here teaching you how to play football. Your dad should be here showing you how to do this. Where's your daddy at? Since you want to come at me about me and my money, where's your daddy out here playing football with you? Why ain't he doing this? And see, that's one of the biggest triggers for a lot of young men, especially in the African American community. Not having that confidence because they never dealt with another man in authority. So better to attack a man in authority and to challenge him rather than actually challenge the fact that, you know what, I got to take whatever help I can get. Because nobody else is going to want to hear my excuses. No one else is going to want to hear, why ain't I keeping up with the other dominant of society? And you see, Cam didn't have to, I'm telling you, Cam didn't have to do that. Now, some people are going to say, well, what about the mother? What about the mother? We understand it takes two parents most of the time to deal with that type of behavior. And I'm telling you right now, there are some deep-rooted issues going on with that child. Oh, yeah, I believe it. Anywhere else, that boy would have been gone. Y'all gotta understand, nobody's trying to take the time to try to figure out what's psychologically wrong with that boy. You know what I'm saying? That's, as they will say, that's not my problem. He's not my kid. We're more quicker to put a football in their hand. We're more quicker at doggone, hey, you know what? He'll be all right. That's what boys do. It's always fun and games to where that boy, little Quan, gets shot. Then everybody want to figure out, well, somebody should have heard his story. Somebody should have gave him a chance. No, man. We understand that, guess what? The situations ain't getting no more better. What's going on, seeking my creator? The situation's not getting any better of the climate of change for these young African American boys. And I know a lot of people will say, BT, why are you talking like this? Why are you saying these types of things about our people? Am I lying? Am I not, what I'm saying is true? Do we not have a big issue in the African American home without the fathers there? Do we not have a lack of authority and respect? So now that you have it where it's out there in the open, you have it in the open where a lot of these people do not know how to deal with authority, do not know how to deal with a respectable man. I don't see Cam out there in the news causing crimes or doing stuff disrespectful to men and women. How is it that we're going to reach these young people? Because if you can't hear a man of means that will take the time out for you, how are you going to hear somebody who doesn't have that type of backing of money? But you want somebody to be patient with you at the job. You want somebody to be patient with you in society, hear your testimony of your story, hear about all the disparities that have ever happened to you in your life. Listen, I'm trying to let a lot of y'all understand. Listen, you just don't get that type of patience these days. Young brothers, I want you to understand. People don't want to always hear your excuses. They don't have to understand your story. And you see how the media is pointed out there that, Cam, you should have been more understanding. Cam did understand the situation. That's why he said what he said as a father. Where's your father? Where's your daddy? I know we hear what a lot of people saying, well, the women, they have to be the dad. I'm sorry, ladies, you cannot be the dad and the mom. I know you try to be the substitute, but all you can do is try to direct that child. You cannot be the father and the mom. No, you're right about that, Divine. There is something psychologically wrong. And see, let's just be honest about it. We know that there's something psychologically wrong with a lot of the young adults, man. We know that there's something psychologically wrong with a lot of the young men. We know this. We see it. And we can try to pretend and try to keep on burying it and talk about other stuff, but let's call it for what it is, man. And it's not getting any better, right? I'm telling you right now, a lot of these young boys, they're getting a lot worse. And when the last man done thrown up his hands and said, I'm done, I'm out, then what? Then everybody's gonna be like, well, y'all cannot forget about the young boys. But see, how do I save the young boys if they themselves don't want me to save them or don't know that they need to be saved? How do we help them when you have it that those who do try, they get shamed, they get talked about, they get called all kind of names, they get humiliated or said that you should have done it a nicer way, you should have been more compassionate, you should have listened to their feelings. Sorry, but I'm a man trying to teach you and raise you on how to be a man. I need to teach you how to check your feelings, how to be humble in the presence of another man of authority. I'm not saying what I think I know. I'm telling y'all the art of being a man, the things that I have to do in society for me to get by to feed my family, take care of my women and my children. This is the code of conduct of being a man. Not no make-believe fairy tale stuff. And if you don't play by these rules, you get got and you get sat down. And it might not be the way you like it. But see, you got to understand, the coddling has definitely watered down the gene pool of how these young boys cannot handle the authority. They can't handle it. They can't deal with authority checking them and coming at them saying, hey, get it together, son. Hey, chill out. Everybody want to go to Never Never Land. Everybody wants to get that type of respect. Everybody wants to all of a sudden be heard. Everybody wants to say, hey, like, I have a voice, you don't have a voice. In the grand scheme of things, you only get what I allow you to get. And a lot of people don't want to hear that. They don't. A lot of these young men are never going to learn how to actually deal with actually being with a woman. But they can, if you can barely deal with being around men, how are you going to deal with being around a woman? If you can't handle what another man says to you, how can you? And you see, you got to think of that. If a young man cannot handle what another man says to him at a pretentious voice of authority, how do you think he's going to deal with a woman speaking to him in a pretentious voice of authority? I'm trying to tell y'all the real. I'm trying to be realistic with y'all. This is real, y'all. This is what's happening. And so when we ask for where are the men, they're diluting down. They're going away. They can't handle the pressure because they do not know how to be under the pressure and guidance of other men. And shame on the media, shame on any type of commentator that tried to shame Cam Newton about him checking and doing mentorship and saying, and mind you, Marshawn Lynch had to deal with this. That was crazy. You're right. They told Cam Newton that he should have apologized. Just think about it. They're telling a man who's in a potential position of authority that because what you said to that young boy that don't have no respect for you or what you do or your craft or your accolades, you should apologize to him. Are you kidding me? You telling Cam Newton, a man that has done accolade after accolade and literally is doing everything in his best life, he's following by the book of being a man and manhood, fatherhood, and taking care of his family. You're telling him he needs to apologize to that of a boy that has no position of respect for him. This is how backward society has gotten. This is how dangerous the mindset has gotten. And ladies, I want you to understand, that if there's no hope for getting these young men in line, what hope do you have? If the men cannot check the young men or be the mentors that they need to be for the young men, imagine what that means for the young woman. Imagine what that means because mind you, men have to build up society. They have to cultivate. But see, if they don't have the respect for authority, what makes you think they're going to have respect for you? Boy. Oh, man, BMT is preaching today. I'm not going in like I could on Negro Shade Radio. I'm trying to be politically correct about this one. Because if you don't have a shred of respect for that man, I don't know what respect he might have for his mama. I don't know what respect he might have for society or any type of man. How do you and you'll say, well, y'all need to build. You need to protect what? What's going on, DJ Cadillac? I'm not going to sit there and waste my time trying to save those who say the heck with you. I'm not about to do that. No. If you want to, when I'm trying to feed you a gourd of water of knowledge and you spit it back in my face, then I say to the wolves with you. To the wolves with you. And you see, you now have it where the older generation of men are getting tired of trying to train and rear the younger men because how can I teach you if you think that you know everything? How can I show you if you're trying to tell me what I know already and I'm trying to get you to that level? It don't make no sense. It won't. It won't ever make sense. But however, you'll have it where some people will say, well, you got to keep being patient. You got to keep trying. You know, back in the day. This is not back in the day, y'all. This ain't. Now you have it where these young people will bust you upside your head for trying to correct them. Say, hey, pull up your pants. Hey, don't do that. Hey, have a little bit more respect for you. Hey, who are you? Who are you to tell me this? Who are you? Like, hold up. So wait. You're telling me I'm trying to tell you something. I'm trying to get you right. And you're going to say, who are you to tell me or to correct me from making a huge mistake with my life? And at that point, you got to understand that, you know what? It's better to let you die off. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but see, you're seeing it now where this type of society mindset is killing themselves off. They're dying younger and younger. They're eating themselves away. Because if they can't be checked and be reasoned with, then they will, the only reason that they have is to take themselves out. Now, we're not going to say it's all of them because that's not true. We do have where some of them are like, you know what? Nah, you shouldn't have said it to Cam Newton. I think you even had it where a few young brothers like, yo, man, chill out, man. That's Cam Newton. Do you not know who you're talking to? And that one young man was like, nah, he must not know who I am. Who are you? What have you done in that of society? Like, understand this, bro. Like, you still depending on your mama to take care of you. I had it where I remember there was a young boy saying, "Mama, if you don't get me a PS5, you don't love me." And she said, "No, I do love you." I said, "Hold up, woman. You actually going to get this boy a PS5 after he just told you and gave you an ultimatum that you don't love him unless you get him a PS5?" I said, if anything, you know, I would have took him home and worked him like a dog. I would have took him home and worked him like a dog. See, I grew up in a society that you are only worth something when you put in something. If you're not putting in something, do you have a right to a voice? Because you're not contributing nothing. But he was telling his mama, you don't love me, mama, unless you give me something. You adore me. Parents, you got to understand, you are the parent, not the child. Stop trying to be your child's friend. My father checked me there at the door. I'm the parent, not you. I made you, not the other way around. I made you, and I could take you from this world. And I know a lot of y'all don't like to hear that. Well, what kind of parent would say that? Oh no, that's called authority. That's called life. I'm not sure how many of y'all. I grew up in a tyrannical, authoritative world. I know a lot of y'all don't like that, hearing that. Well, what kind of parent would say that to a child? See, that was somebody who would let me know how society thinks, how they get down. My mom told me that plenty of times. I brought you into this world. I can take you out. It depends on me if I want to feed you and clothe you, how I treat you. But see, you have it where now society is telling these children, you don't need to be told a limiter of authority. You don't need to have to respect anyone. You don't need to have to obey that of a hierarchy. But no matter what, there is a hierarchy in these things. Well, that's being a slave. Well, no offense, bro, but I've been slaving away all my life. Even after I had children, I've been slaving away. Even after I had a family, I've been slaving away. Even after I'm a grown man and I'm still working the sweat of my brow. I think that was one thing God had it on the money that, listen, you will work to the sweat of your brow to the day you die. I said, man, God, you sure we can't renegotiate this deal? Nah, nah, buddy. Nah. Ain't no negotiation for this. No, and you're right about that. See, trauma recognizes trauma. Cam didn't have a good upbringing like that. I mean, not every parent, and I want you to understand that. Listen, man, not every. Some people recognize the value of a man in the home. I know y'all like, oh, BMT, don't be saying all that. No, it's true. Cam recognized that he saw something in that young man. He recognized that. That's why he was trying to tell him, like, listen, man, like, I don't have to do this. I don't have to do this. You need this more than me. He was trying to reach that young man. He was only saying what we know that is going on in society, especially in our home. You know, you got to understand that, listen, that the dwindling down of fathers in the home is very real. I know y'all like to think, oh, well, there ain't nothing going on. Like, it's still the same. No, fathers across the board are not coming into the home like that. Not like they used to. Not like they used to. Black fathers, oh God, you're a lucky charm. You know how hard, do you know how golden it is to have access to your children, to your seed, to be able to tell them at night, I love you, to be able to have that conversation with them, to say, hey, buddy, it's okay. You're all right. I got you. That is a access that is being stole away, that is being shamed. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, that's not true. I will beg to differ. But we definitely see it. We definitely see it. And it's definitely a fight that a lot of people want to ignore because they're like, well, why y'all making a bill? If you want to be in a home, just be in a home. Some men want to be mentored. There's a lot of men, you know, one of the biggest prideful things that a lot of men take pride in is being a mentor and having an impact on a young adult and showing them something. You know what I'm saying? Showing them something that they can use to become a service to society. Ain't no more than a better feeling than to know that I trained or reared or put something in an individual that now will make an imprint on society. But when that is being taken away, when that is being shamed and frowned upon, what do you do? How do you combat that? How do you come back? You taking away my birthright of something that is supposed to be something I should be innately God-given able to do. How do I tell other men this is a noble cry? I had it last night. A man was asking me, why should I be a father? Why should I be a family man? Like, I don't want to lose anything. And it was fine. And I got frustrated because part of me was like, I don't know what I can tell him to make him want to be a man. I can't give him that speech because you got it where a successful $75 million man is being shamed right now and people are laughing about it. So how do I tell a man that makes nowhere close to what he makes, that literally doesn't have what he has or the same access or voice, that, hey, it's worth it? Something that you should want to do. The women can't get these men to do that. I gotta let you ladies know right now. These men don't want to hear you give them no speech. These men, us as men, do not want no woman to give us no speech about being no man. Sorry. With the systematic system and the courts and all kind of woes of the world, nope. Y'all the last ones that men want to hear about why we should be in the home or be fathers or be mentors. Y'all the last one that we want to talk to. Don't blame me. I'm just a messenger. I'm just telling you it is what it is. And I know a lot of women are like, no. How do we fix? I don't think you can, baby. I don't think you can. Not the way it is right now. It's going to take a lot of healing. That something that only men that we can fix. I think this is something that literally this kind of culture, social media, that is breeding and putting out there. This type of indoctrinations that they're telling these young men to fight against. So that's all I had to say. You know what I'm saying? I thank you guys for having the conversation. Thank you guys for being able to sit down and talk with me. I'm BMT, Business Minded Talk. And also, I am also BMT on Negro Shade Radio podcast. I'll probably be doing a more unfiltered, uncanny discussion, more so on my podcast later on, because I'm going to definitely talk more. I just was a little bit more candid and filtered here. I just was being more filtered here. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure different other compatriots, shout out to Kay and different other people who shared the stream. Shout out to David. Shout out. I know he's gonna talk about it. I just know David. I know my brother David. And it's just one of those things, y'all, that literally this is the fight. This is a real fight that we're fighting against. This is a fight that it's not just a man problem. This is a humane problem that we are dealing with real time. And if we do not get this problem dealt with, understand this: when the men stop building, when the men stop creating, when the men stop stepping up, when the men say, I am done, I'm tired, I wash my hand with these people, with my younger men and all this stuff, when they say there is no chance of me trying to build family, society, or any type of diplomacy, you might just say game over. And this is not just a Western thing. This is actually starting to become a global thing. This is becoming a global thing. So I'll see you guys later. This is BMT signing off from BMT Negro Shade Radio. And you can also catch the link. I think I can play the video. I do have it. And I just want to show y'all. What that of Cam Newton, what he dealt with. I think I can do that for y'all. Let me see if I can do that. I know y'all can't see it on Negro Shade Radio. But definitely this is something that I'm definitely hit it up on. Let me see if I can grab that. Down, share. Yeah, he did. The kid did apologize. But I found it interesting, David. You know, that literally society wanted to make Cam Newton apologize, and as Cam, I would have been like, "What? Get out of here!" And Newton takes high ground after heckling video, but other NFL players rip disrespectful team. You know what I'm saying? Because other teams, other men do respect Cam Newton greatly, and they're like, "Wait, you want him to apologize for being a mentor?" Mind you, a lot of NFL players do these sports camps to get back and reach out towards younger men, because a lot of younger men need direction. They need something to give them a purpose to focus on. A teenager apologized early Monday for heckling Cam Newton at a youth football tournament after a video of the incident went viral, drawing condemnation from current and former NFL players and prompting Newton to take the high road with a social media post that empathized with his commitment to helping young athletes. The incident reportedly occurred Saturday at the NFA 7v7 East Regional Stage in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That's literally like 2 hours away from me. Newton was there with 3 teams named for his signature line of Under Armour apparel, seeing gold, gold, silver, and a pair of 18 and under teams, seeing red and a 15 and under squad. The incident occurred as Newton was on the sideline with some of his players, whose shirts bore the phrase "Bless the babies." Wow, ain't that ironic? And a member of another team yelled at the New England Patriots quarterback that he was a free agent. But Newton, who has earned more than 120 million just in NFL salaries, retorted, "I'm rich." Youngster shot back, "You're about to be poor." Now, understand this. This is a man. Most NFL players don't make what Cam Newton makes. I want you to understand it. Most men in their livelihood, a good percentile of men, will never come close to the amount of money that Cam Newton makes. He is one of the highest paid athletes. You're telling me you're going to be poor, but yet you're on a center stage for him. Newton, 31, then began to ask if he could speak to the boy's father. See, Newton understood, you know what? Why am I talking to a child? I need to go talk to the source, which we know doggone well whenever the police, or this is why most police, teachers, authorities in society don't ever ask for the father. You know why? Because 7 out of 10 times, you won't, that person ain't gonna pick up that phone, or they ain't there. Any young athlete watching this video, please don't be this kid. Tweeted running back Leonard Fournette, fresh off helping the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win the Super Bowl. Don't miss your chance to learn something from someone who has been there at the highest level in this sport. Stay humble. This is another man telling other men, listen, y'all can follow down that route if y'all want, But when you talk to an authoritative role, y'all might want to learn some humility. As we said when we were coming up, know your place. Oh, I'm sorry. I know that's a disgusting word to use against a lot of y'all. I'm really not sorry, but I have to let y'all know, young men and young women, know your place. It might keep you alive for the next day. In a lengthy tweet directed to Newton in media outlets and posted shortly after midnight Monday, the youngster apologized and said the situation got out of hand. Oh, you think? First and foremost, I want to express my deepest apologies to Cam Newton, my entire organization, and my coaches for my action at the 7v7 tournament this past weekend. Jessica Owens wrote, I did not intend for it to get as far as it did. First, I would like to start off by saying my parents never taught me to treat people disrespectful. Gee, imagine that. I can't tell, because you sure had no problem embarrassing your parent, your family, your community, your school, your culture. There was no shame. There was no humility. I'm kind of wondering, did somebody have to force him to do this? Because before I would have left that doggone stadium, if I had been that young man, listen, I would have been there at Cam Newton's back and said, I apologize, Cam. Mr. Newton, I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can you forgive me, please? Or did somebody have to tell you or threaten you? Most of the time, a lot of these people have to be forced to do this. Not saying that I'm not saying he might not have done it from that, but I'm pretty sure other people were shaming him, saying, yo, you really made us all look bad. You did. You definitely did that. As a football player, I let my competitive side get the best of me, and it was a huge miscommunication. It was, first of all, there is no miscommunication with a child and a grown man. There is no miscommunication. First of all, there you go. There, see, this is how you can tell that you haven't learned your place. There is no miscommunication. There is no competitiveness with you, a man, and a child. There is no competitiveness. I'm doing that because, see, this is why I'm saying you got to read. First of all, why are you talking about competitiveness? What are you competing with me for? You here because I'm allowing y'all to be here. Y'all wearing my brand. Heck, you got it on your back. I'm saying, bless you, babies. We doggone know. Ain't nobody giving y'all no handouts. So how you gonna tell me your competitive side got the best of you? What? Where? Competitive what? I'm not on the field. Do you think majority of these young boys could keep up with Cam Newton if he would have started sprinting and dusting them off? Throw as far as him? Play under the pressure that he plays under? Where's the competitive side? I am very appreciative for 7v7 to even allow me to be a part of the community and allowing me to be a part of the team I currently on. I realize this can dictate my future as a young man having very big dreams, goals, but I will not allow this to stop me from getting where I need to be. So again, I apologize and hope I can be forgiven. Some of y'all babies be cutting off y'all blessing. An Instagram post Sunday in which he shared further video on the back and forth. Newton wrote, to me, talking to a child with everyone looking does me no good. Thank you. No matter what, in the eyes of the media, you, Cam Newton, they were going to always villainize you. As a black father, I can tell you right now, I have been there where I have chastised or literally have talked to young men and women, and literally people would want to more so critique me than critique the child that I am critiquing on how to behave. So instead of speaking or going back and forth with a child, I wanted to have a man-to-man conversation with his father. He added, as athletes that are often seen on TV, loved by most, hated by some, people often forget that we are real dads, real friends, real brothers, real sons, real human beings. Very much so true. Many NFL players who discussed the video online claimed that the former NFL MVP reacted much more calmly and maturely than they would have. To all the parents that bring their kids to fun camps, you let your son step into a box talking trash. There are no more age limits. We will handle this like men. Tweeted former running back Reggie Bush, now a Fox Sports analyst. Cam handled that situation better than me. Former wide receiver Torrey Smith said on Twitter, I'm pretty level-headed, but when it's time to get petty, I can take it to the floor. Again, I told you, some men will not be as nice as how some other men will be empathetic to your plight. More than a few of Cam Newton's contemporary expressed amazement and dismay that the child would choose to mock an athlete with Cam Newton's level of accomplishment. This is crazy. So let me go ahead and pull that up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can read more into it. It's in the description below. Let me go ahead and pull up that video. Let me go ahead and pull that out. Let me see if I can pull this up. Where is the video? I have it. You know, I'm working from my laptop. There we go. There we go. Okay. So let me go ahead and hit play. And I'll let y'all hear it one time. I don't think y'all can hear it. I don't think y'all can hear it. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be Cam Newton discussing with this young man. And I just want y'all to understand how he handled this with grace. Okay?
You asked him, you're a free agent. You're a free agent, Rich. You're a free agent. You about to be poor. I'm rich. You about to be poor. I'm rich. You about to be poor. I'm rich. You're a free agent. I'm rich. You're a free agent. I'm rich. He's still free agent. Where your daddy is? Let me talk to your dad. Let me talk to your dad. Where's your dad? You're a free agent. Where's your dad? You're a free agent. You're a free agent. You asked. Talk to. Let me. Where's your dad? Where's your pop? Where's your dad? You asked. You're a free agent. You're a free agent, Rich. You're a free agent. You about to be poor. I'm rich. You about to be poor. I'm rich. You about to be poor. I'm rich. You're a free agent. I'm rich. You're a free agent. I'm rich. He's still free agent. Where your daddy is? Let me talk to your dad. Let me talk to your dad. Where's your dad? You're a free agent. Where's your dad? You're a free agent. You're a free agent. You asked. Talk to. Let me. Where's your dad? Where's your pop? Where's your dad?
And see, like I said, do y'all think a police officer would have had that kind of patience with that young man? What if he was in a classroom? What if he was in a classroom with his classmates? You think a teacher would have kept him in there? What if he had a job? You think his job would have want to say, you know, I want to hear and hear your plight. I can understand. Y'all think people patient with you, young men, especially you young black men. Y'all think people are going to be patient with y'all? They're not. So y'all might want to definitely be more mindful. Like I said, if y'all coming on and like the video, we got 13 dislikes. We got 13 likes, 2 dislikes. You know, it is what it is. I get that all the time. But I definitely want y'all to understand 8.3 million people got to see the one painful truth that Cam Newton and a lot of men knew but didn't want to discuss. They knew it and they didn't want to discuss it. And Cam said it out loud. So I just want y'all to understand the climate of what's going on. I'm BMT. I'm thankful that y'all were willing to sit with me and have a discussion. Like, share the video, and understand that what's going on in the climate for men and in the home is very much real. Y'all take care. Have a good day. Peace.